Greetings and salutations, I'm Chevalier and I bid you welcome to the illustration and guide of Bahmanis. So Bahmanis is basically the counterpart of Vijayanagar, only that he is Shia and Vijayanagar is Hindu. So he has, or she has, depends on the country it has more opportunities for attack. Basically Vijayanagar is more of a beginner level nation, while Bahmanis is a more experienced level nation, mainly because Bahmanis has more opportunities to grow both in the north, in the east, and in the west, in the south as well. So he can expand everywhere, while Vijayanagar can only grow to some large extent only north into Bahmanis, Veladu, which is its ally. So mainly some problems with Vijayanagar. Bahmanis, if you're a good player, let's say a high level player, you're going to be able to expand quite fast and to some degree. For expansion, I recommend going for the culture, your own culture. And your own culture is, if you look at this, there is Kanda, right? So that should be this culture here. So should probably expand into this area with more of an urgency than leave it this area here for the later starts. Though I do believe that this is currently an accepted culture. Yes, Marathi and Telugu. Marathi and Telugu. So this is accepted as well. So some opportunities there. So let's delve into the situation and let's go first into cash. Right. So cash wise, you are making 5.9 ducats. You should be able to have some decent amount of troops and a couple of advisors, as well as the fact that you have 4 forts. My recommendation is to play without forts, keep just one in your capital. They do not safeguard you that much. Perhaps later on you might want to build some sort of barrier that you can actually defend your border somewhere on this line here to actually have a safe zone. But usually if you're a good player and you play smart around aggressive expansion and you don't get attacked that much, you should be really safe. For this I recommend killing these 3 forts here and leaving the one in your capital just to be safe. And this will give you a large chunk of cash as well. If you kill this, you'll see that you actually make almost 11 ducats per month. If you kill the maintenance, you'll make more than 11 ducats per month, so you're fine. Cash wise, this will allow you to get a couple of advisors. Other than this, remember that you have increased inflation due to the gold that you have here. Where was that damn gold map? So you have a gold here in Golconda, so that will give you even more cash with an income of 3.5 from gold. Other than this, you can have one more gold here in Mewar, which is gonna boost up your cash level. Other than this, there's nothing that much important. The spices here are kind of nice, and basically the what's it called, the cloth here as well, and but this is relatively small speaking. But yeah, the gold is really important here and here. Now let's go into trade. At this moment in time, you're making 5.42. So you're getting cash. Your main entry node is Goa. It's quite nice. Later on, you might want to move to the Indus trade node, or if you really want to pull something off, I recommend moving to the Gulf of Aden really fast, attacking this guy Balochistan and moving straight to the Gulf of Aden, so you can control the Gulf of Aden. That will be a more trade expansion, so that you get a good entry node that you can collect in, so that you'll actually be able to push trade from from this side and this side into this side, so that you don't have to keep more merchants into all of these trade nodes, so you can actually push more freely. Another option here is to actually move your trade node to Zanzibar and move also from Malacca, but this is part of the mid game, even to the late game. I'll say that when the, let's say 100 years basically, that you want to move. But Gulf of Aden is a good start. Either Gulf of Aden, Hormuz as well, but Gulf of Aden is more profitable for you because you won't waste that many merchants. Followed by this into Alexandria, expanding into Zanzibar and keeping a guy here, a merchant, to actually collect in Zanzibar, and expand towards your entry node. Now let's delve into the estates. You have 4 estates because you are Sunni, so you have the ulema as well. Now As you can see here, you're not doing that great on the Amers, the Dihmi, the Merchant Guilds, the Ulema. Basically everybody has a decent chunk of your land, except for the Merchant Guilds. Basically the Amers have to be cut down a notch, even more than a notch. So as soon as you can, just remove some lands from them, that so that they will go down to control of 10%. Same goes for the Dihmi, same goes for the Ulema. They are fine basically. At the start, the Ulema will have to be given some lands so that they will actually be able to move up to 40%. So we have to give them one province, so then 6 support of the clergy, so you can actually take these options here. If you see here, the lowest development province is Mahur, if I'm not mistaken, that is not given, and it's gonna get you to 39.7, so you need 7 development that you have to give, which you don't have unfortunately, so East Berar is gonna be your choice. So go to this, it's gonna get you to 42, which allow you to take some options here. Recruit a minister and recruit an inquisitor as well. It's gonna get you to 67. Though these guys are gonna be pissed off because of this. You really need to have this to 60 so you can get the tax modifier. Another option here is to give them more land. Instead of giving them East Berar, give them something like East Berar and Mahur as well, and give it to the Ulema, and it's gonna go to 73. Or you can give them directly West Berar as well. That's gonna give you to basically 77, and that will allow you to basically take 150 points, admin points, and that will allow you to gain tech faster if you really want to pull this off. Remember that if you want to do this, wait until you can actually boost stability by 1, because it's gonna be cheaper. So you have the modifiers here, that is gonna allow you to boost stability at less cost, lower cost basically. There you go. Then you'll demand the admin support and everything is perfect. For the damage here, you'll need to remove provinces. For now, I recommend just calling a diet. That's gonna get you to 65 and 75. Then you can demand the military support. They're gonna lose the loyalty. That will actually give you overall more points. Remember that for the Amers, you might want to keep this alive until you reach to 60. Then actually take it so that you'll have loyalty to 40. That will grow up. Although to some degree this is not recommended, simply because you'll want to remove lands from the Amers that will actually you will need higher loyalty. So it's better that you do it like this. But there are 2 options here. I'm just explaining why you should do one and you shouldn't do other. So just do it like this. Then when it goes up to 50, remove 1 more Amers province. Then again remove 1 more Amers province. Go from those things. For the merchant guilds, there's nothing you can do right now. You don't have any lands that you can give them actually. Let's see. Yeah, you don't have any lands that you can give them, unfortunately. You don't own any center of trades or... no, you can give them land. My bad. So you can give them land, but you can give them this. If you see here, they're gonna go down to 24. But if you do this, you're gonna really hit your economy to some degree. Like you already lost 25% from these 2 provinces, and you're gonna lose 25% from these 2 provinces even more. So this is not that warranted. Keep that in mind. As well as removing the Dihmi here should be also warranted. So the merchant guilds, just wait a little bit until you actually gain some lands from this side, and you can actually give them when they have high autonomy. That is the better option. Now for the Dihmi here, try to remove as much as possible from the Dihmi and try to use them as much as possible. Remember that you can use to some degree those options here. Remember that the tech cost is really important in the early game. That is really gonna get you some cash, as well as they are basically a mix of clergy and Amers basically. And actually they're basically a mix of all 3. But yeah, try to use them as much as possible. But as you can see, they need the overall loyalty, right? So that will actually lower loyalty to you on your land. So it's somewhat problematic to use the Dihmi. Usually I just kill it from the start, but if you can actually balance it really well, you can make a better country, at least in the early game when you have the tech cost at like plus 10% basically. At plus 10% basically. Yeah. Other than this, there's not much more to say on his states. Let's go to court. You have a 4-4-5 leader. He's 26. He is excellent. 26 years old. You're gonna have a decent amount of cash. Unfortunately, your heir is 34. He is also good. He's at 34. That gives 10 points, and this guy gives you 13 points. He should die, so make him into a general as soon as possible to actually get a new leader, simply because most likely he will die before this guy dies, and you'll be in a problem where you might have low legitimacy because you don't have an heir available. Keep that in mind as well. Other than this, just go for the admin focus here. There is also option to go for military focus because you have a decent amount of military points and you can expand with admin, so you might want to also go for a military focus if you want to go for a military idea first. I'm going to talk about this in the ideas tab. So now, for advisors here, try to use the guys that you have for half the cost. So basically the missionary strength guy is really important because most of your lands are of the wrong religion. So that can be, let's say, a little bit problematic. And I truly recommend keeping the Shia traditions. They are a decent chunk of traditions basically. The Shia are really good. They give you basically more moral of armies if I'm not mistaken. Which is really good, yeah. Moral of armies plus 5%, so overall it's one of the best Muslim nations, best Muslim religion, so to say, in this game. Now here, just go for a simple guy, the +1 guy, so you won't lose that much cash. At the same time, I recommend here going for morale, discipline, whatever floats your boat, whatever you want. That will allow you to have a decent amount of trade income, trade left. As you can see, you have 8 ducats, which allow you when you go up to actually build some buildings really, to build some stuff so you can get more cash. Like it's a snowball mechanic basically. You get more cash, which you invest in more cash, and that is gonna give you more cash. This is basically how this game goes to some degree with large nations basically. If you manage to build decent amount of cash, so you can actually hire mercs and everything else, you're gonna be golden. Now, on the court, there's not much else to say. This guy has advisor cost minus 20% and mercenary maintenance minus 25. I'm not sure if these things are random or not. Can't seem to recall if they're random or not, but hopefully they're gonna stay like this. For the government here, assault rate, you have the tax modifier plus 5% and the income from vassals plus 32%, with monthly autonomy minus 0.025. So basically these are the main options here. You have 2 cultures that are accepted, the Marhavi, the Marathi, which are up here. You go here, they're up here, and the Telugu, which are down here basically. Telugu are down here, and Marathi are up here, right? At the same time, if you go here, you have the central government option, which you should not forget, especially if you have tons of military power and you have some problems. It happened to one of my campaigns where I had low legitimacy and I got killed by a civil war, so try to remember that this button exists. It's costly, but the button exists and it's really helpful in some situations. Keep that in mind as well. Now, for diplomacy here, the most important stuff is that you have cores. You have 4 cores on Vijayanagar and 1 core on Gujarat. This is excellent. Attacking them earlier on, as soon as possible, is going to give you more cores, especially if you can actually get some good allies. But remember that Vijayanagar starts with 2 allies and 1 vassal, so finding somebody that would want to kill him is kind of hard. With this, I recommend actually... Oh, so we... Oh, right, my bad. Also, they started rivaled, but they don't start rivaled. You'll be hard pressed to find allies to attack Vijayanagar, and you won't be able to beat their troops, because if you look at here, you see that the Vijayanagar troops are at 50,000 same as you, but they have a vassal. The vassal in Jaffa, which is here, and they're gonna give them about 3,000 more troops, and I have already 2 allies, one in Mysore and one in Andhra, basically here. So they're gonna be able to be problematic to kill. At the same time, these guys as well as have 2 vassals, Kandalesh and Balagna, so they're gonna be problematic as well. So finding a decent chunk of allies that you can actually use for yourself is really gonna be problematic. but this is gonna be more advanced talk when you get to the expansion guide. For your main allies, try to check this and see who is friendly to you and who hates your enemies, basically. So as you can see here, for me it's really problematic. Like, you cannot ally anybody. You can ally Katihor to some degree, and that is about it, right? And Garjot. But other than this, you are quite screwed for allies, and you're gonna be starved to some degree. But do not worry, you have a decent amount of armies that you can actually help defend yourself. So there shouldn't be any major issues that you'll have to face. Other options for alliances are basically Bengal if you want to move into Orissa, Jampur up top if you want to move into this side here, into Malwa if he goes big, or Mewar if he goes big, but usually in India you should be able to easily squash everybody. Now, other than this, for your rivals, one of them is Gujarat, one of them is Vijayanagar, that are the standard ones. But if you really want to be more efficient, just take the guys that have a lower army than you. That will basically mean Andhra, with Garjat, no, that's Garjat. Where's Gujarat? Gujarat as well. Basically, they have a lower army probably than you. Malwa as well, they're small. And Orissa as well, they're quite smaller. So if you're not planning on attacking Vijayanagar or Gujarat for your cores, just rival the smaller guys so that you'll be better that way. Although, and this is broken. Really, this is broken. Let's wait one tick. There we go. Now you see it. Broken Star Paradox, please fix your stuff. So Andhra is the best option here, followed by Malwa, followed by Orissa, then followed by Gujarat, followed by Vijayanagar, basically. That are your main options. Remember that you won't be able to have the allies, so try to bide your time and wait a little bit until you can actually attack somebody, so that you'll have to be more prepared. Although you might be able to beat Gujarat if you attack them really fast. Keep that in mind. You'll be able to take your core back. They only have one level 1 fort, so they're gonna be easily killed, right? So Gujarat can be easily killed. Keep that in mind. So we talked about economy, let's talk about trade, let's talk about technology. So you have embraced already the feudalism, which is perfect. Renaissance is gonna spread quite slowly. It's gonna really spread quite slowly. Like really slow. To the point where it's gonna be really slow. Like, try to boost your text as much as possible, basically, in the early game, because as more time goes by, it's gonna be really expensive. But keep that in mind, because that's why I mean that you should use the Dihmi as much as possible, because it's gonna save you on some points, which is gonna allow you to get more points, to save points, to get more text, basically. So keep that in mind. For your text, just use the modifiers on everything. It's very important to save points in this region and any regions here. Although it's better, your points are better than in the previous patches. Even now, it's you're really gonna be hurting for points. So try to save as many points as possible using this, so you can actually get more tech as much as you can. Especially with Renaissance, that's gonna hit in 6 years. And in 6 years, I do hope that you're gonna be able to get 2 techs at least. Get 1 tech in everything and get another tech available. But we'll talk about this more when we go into expansion guide. It really comes to mind when you want to expand it, you want to use admin points, right? And if you want to expand here, you're gonna be forced to use admin points for the earlier parts of the game. Like really forced to use admin points, because you really want to expand to some degree really fast, especially into your own culture. That means in the south part here, into your own culture land. So keep that in mind. So into more deeper level, try to use modifiers as much as possible. Try to get to Tech 5 so you can get an idea first. Here, if you want to go for a diplomatic idea, save the points. For military, take it before you want to go to war. Try to take it as soon as possible, at least the first tech, especially if you are at war right now, if you're fighting Vijayanagar or Gujarat, and that extra advantage in military tactics is going to be really huge at the start. It's going to give you like 70% more tactics, which is really important, as well as the morale, which is gonna give you what morale is 20% more morale. So it's quite huge tech 4. Keep that in mind and devise strategies along that tech. For ideas, you have the Illyria Army Tradition, not that great. You have the Torrents of Heathens. Okay, I would guess, especially in this region here, if you want to expand into this part here, but could have been better, could have been some discipline, could have been some manpower, could have been a military idea which is going to serve you even more. For your first idea, you have the manpower recovery speed plus 10%. Manpower recovery speed is the, let's say, the really small brother of manpower, maximum manpower basically. They're not gonna give you maximum manpower, which is annoying. No, manpower modifier basically is the small brother of manpower modifier. It's gonna give you the same manpower as manpower, maximum manpower, but it's not gonna give you the same maximum manpower. It's a little bit hard to explain. I'm gonna make a guide on this shit so you can actually understand whenever I get a chance. Yeah, the prestige and religious unity plus 25%. This is decent, I guess. I found that religious unity, especially when you are most likely gonna hit nations that you're gonna annex nations that are not part of your religion, it's really gonna hurt you. So this is decent, I would say decent. The max promoted cultures plus 1, not that great. To actually get more promoted cultures, you have to spend cash, which is sorry, getting tired. Like I'm not here. You're gonna have to spend Diplo points. Again, it can be useful, but again, better stay out of it. It's not that great that you have it. Trade efficiency is gonna give you more cash, especially in India when you have plenty of trade nodes and plenty of trade. So this is quite nice, especially for the India region. Diplomatic reputation plus 1. Okay, I guess better alliances. To some degree, you can annex guys faster, but again, could have been better. Legitimacy, shit. Idea cost. By the time you get this, you're gonna have to spend, like I said, I think a third of your actual slots, basically. So it's gonna be like the most important part of the game when you need the points to actually get ahead of tech is really gonna be wasted. So this idea is really shit. Like as the last one to have minus 10% idea cost when you actually need the points in the early game, it's really bad. So overall, it's a waste of a slot. Stability cost modifier, you know my opinion on this, is it's like shit. It's useless. Like you boost stability, perhaps, I have no idea, like 2 times, maybe 3 times every 100 years, I think. Like this is shit. Like the shittest of shits. So let's go into national ideas. Now into national ideas, there are 2 ways that you can pull this off, because you have a 5 military points leader and he's decently young, 24. That will to some degree allow you to get a military idea first, especially if you focus this and you get a +2 advisors on military. That is really gonna help you. If I'm not mistaken, a +2 advisor for military can be gained from the Dihmi. No, it's not gonna be possible. It's only possible for the hordes, my bad. So you can go for a military idea first. I truly recommend going for quantity. Although you are a mid-level nation, you'll need more manpower. As you can see right now, you have only 18,000 manpower, so more troops are better. Usually, if you are European, you can get a HRE emperorship. It's better that you go for offensive or quality. But as a nation in India, quantity is the best. You're gonna have more manpower, less cost for your troops. You're gonna be able to get alliances with more guys and better guys, as well as be able to fight in multiple fronts and basically siege more lands at the same time. So overall, it's better to have quantity when you're in the Indian region. Followed by, I would say that you might want to go to some degree for exploration if you really want. Like you are in a position right now, because by the time you get your second idea, you're gonna be able to expand to some degree. So you might want to go for exploration and start annexing these guys as soon as possible. Not as soon as possible. As soon as possible to fight these guys and get more cash. Simply because they're gonna be, they're gonna go at a lower tech speed than you, because you're a player and they're an AI and they're stupid. and at the same time you're gonna be able to go to Australia and get some cash from that, as well as moving to this side and getting to the new world, and as well as to Europe really fast. Let's go for a small TI to get to the new world faster. That means that you're gonna be able to get Renaissance faster, because in my Ethiopian campaign, like over 100 years have passed and I haven't even hit the Renaissance. Basically, I haven't even hit the Renaissance, and it's actually almost 100 years, I think, and I haven't even hit the Renaissance. So think about this: the Indians are not gonna hit the Renaissance in 100 years, 150 years, maybe 200 years. So you're gonna really be bad on tech. So moving to the new world, and moving to Europe as much as possible, as fast as possible, is warranted with exploration ideas, especially because you can actually take this lands here from Maldives and move into these provinces here quite fast and attack these guys. There are plenty of options that you can get. Now, followed by this, you can go for an admin idea. Now, another option here is to go for an admin idea first, which I recommend going for the religious, because you need a dose full CB. This is quite nice, and it's gonna be coupled well with what you have, because you are Shia and you're gonna be able to attack most of these guys here. So going for those vault and religious ideas basically are really nice, especially when you actually have to convert most of your lands from Hindu to basically Shia. So that is quite nice if you want to pull this off. So you have basically three options for a start: either for a quantity idea, for exploration ideas, or influence ideas. Of course, that is the standard land expansion, and followed by a first admin idea, which is religious for the dose vault CB, right? So those are your primary three options here that you can pull off. Although it's not recommended that to go for admin idea first, it can be done in this context. Now, other options that you can have is to go for a humanist first, that you can actually be able to keep your lands stable. Like that is doable as well if you want to keep your lands stable with humanist ideas. Admin idea for the core creation cost as well, that can be nice. Other than this, you might want to go for a fancy perhaps. They are not that recommended, but they're a mid-level nation. They're gonna give you the force limit as well as discipline, so they're gonna give you overall better troops than what you currently have. Some say that diplomatic can be done as well, but I do not recommend. The primary way that you can go are either military idea first, which is quantity, or diplomatic idea first, exploration or influence. Now, followed by this, if you want to go for military idea first, then go for exploration or influence second, followed by an enemy idea, which is going to be religious most likely, because you're going to need to convert the lands back, and followed by either influence or exploration, followed by admin, followed by another military idea, or followed by humanist, depending on where do you feel that you're at. If you have decent enough armies, just go for humanist to have more stable lands. Now, if you want to go for a diplomatic idea first, and you want to, it's recommended that you actually go for exploration or influence. Now, influence is basically standard land expansion. You have to couple it with admin, followed by religious, or religious followed by admin. This is the way you couple these ideas. There's no other option here if you want to go for land expansion. If you want to go for exploration, it's possible that you can go for exploration ideas, then you can actually get exploration, then go religious, then go influence. That is going to allow you to get cheaper annexation of your vassals. Although in this patch the annexation cost is really fucked up basically because of the cost that you have. It's simply a matter of the fact that states cost some points and territories cost 50% of the state cost, so it's quite annoying to calculate, especially because a small vassal always has states, so you're gonna pay more than you actually pay for the actual the actual admin points of coring stuff other than integration. So it's a little bit fucked up, if you follow me. Now, if you want to go for age idea first, which I do not recommend, that is going to allow you to actually have a faster vassal and a faster tunnel into this side and this side, basically to hit the Timurids when they're breaking apart, so you can actually get the Persians as your vassal. At the same time, it's going to allow you to move into these guys with a tunnel as well, and hit these guys here, which are to some degree very diffused. Basically, they're not united. Well, that's what I mean, and they can be easily killed. Like, they're not any strong powerhouses in this region here, and that can be done as well if you want to go for Aegis first. But usually Aegis should be a second idea. Now, another small trick: if you want to go for quantity, you can go for Aegis second and get those full CB, followed by influence, followed by exploration. There are many multiple options that you can pull off. Like, there is no only option here that you can have. There are many options that you can use, but the best ones are going for a diplomatic idea first for low level and medium level players, and for high level players go for a military idea first, and get that extra points on military by focusing on the military idea, on the military points, and getting a +2 advisor as well, because you have the cash. And that is all on ideas. I know it was a long talk on ideas. Let's move into missions and decisions here. So basically you can form Hindustan. That will not give you new ideas. You're gonna still have the Bahmanis ideas. If I'm not mistaken, that actually doesn't say this here. Usually says you're gonna get the new ideas and traditions event, as well as basically you're gonna get claims on tons of land here, which is why I mean that you might use admin ideas at first, because you're gonna get the minus 25% cost with the minus 25% cost from being having the core creation cost from the admin, which is gonna basically cost you 2.5 points per development, which is quite nice if I say so myself. And overall, if you look, I need to go here actually for areas, regions, there we go. So you're gonna gain claims on basically the Bengal region, which is here, the Deccan region, which is the one that you are in right now, the Coromandel region, which is the region here, and western India as well as Hindustan, which is the one, the part here. So you're gonna get claims all over India basically. So you're gonna be perfect on this side here. And it's a stupid color. It's really it's the fucking same color, man. Paradox, change this place. Place changes. Change. Like, do the Mongolian culture for Burma. Thank you. Now, let's delve into this. You can unify Islam as well as standard Islamic decisions. You have the decisions to basically form stuff as the Muslims, so pretty standard stuff. This is for innovative ideas, which you most likely won't get because they're shit. And not shit, but usually they're not that useful in the early game, and you need better, more useful ideas in the early game. Other than this, you can reform the government and switch to admin monarchy, but you have to basically have admin tech 12. It's gonna be a while till you get this, but other than this, should be easily done. Other than this, there's not much more. There are some flavor events with basically flavor Indian events. Nothing that important, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty standard stuff on missions and decisions. For stability and expansion, pretty standard stuff. Reduce for exhaustion when you feel the need to. Boost ability to 1, as we did. You see the Solar guide earlier. Here I recommend going for the native repression policy again. You're gonna have the troops. At the same time, these guys here basically have no natives, so you can colonize them with ease. Same goes for these things here, and the lands in basically in these guys here are quite small and quite useless. So you're gonna be safe here as well. Although these guys are quite annoying. As you can see, they have 5,000. They're still, like, you're not gonna expand here mainly because they're tropical, and you're gonna get a bridgehead, perhaps a bridgehead here, so you can attack Brunei and attack Malacca as well. Pretty standard stuff here. Probably a bridgehead here would be nice as well, so that you can move by land or bridgehead here. Plenty of options basically. Plenty of options left and right. Now, there's nothing much more to say here. Remember that you're gonna have some rebel issues, simply due to the fact that you're gonna have the wrong religion, and you're gonna have rebel issues. Keep that in mind as well. Also, I forgot about this. Your government rank is kingdom, right? Kingdom, right? So pretty standard stuff. Your kingdom. Other than this, there's not much more to say. Let's go to religion. So, plenty of lands to convert. We have the +2 guy here that you're gonna get, so that's gonna give you a decent chunk of points, which decent chunk of time reduction that you so that you can convert. Remember that you can go to piety here when you attack other nations that are not part of your religion, and you'll most likely have full piety because most of these nations are either either Shia or Hindu, basically. So there are a small number of nations that actually have the Shia religion, basically. Only the Karakulan has Shia, I think, and some nations from here. Oh, this is a body, right? Yeah, but the Shia are quite extent, basically. So keep that in mind as well. Another option that you can do is basically just switch the religion back to Hindu if you feel the need to. It's up to you, although I think that Shia is one of the best religions. Although keep also in mind that Hindu have some new changes, and they are more moddable. By moddable I mean they have more ways that you can go with, either stabilization, more military, more cash, more trade, I think, as well. So plenty of options along that way with the deities that you can choose. But remember that you're gonna have most likely max piety here. Unfortunately, you need the max lack of piety, but yeah, I guess it's okay-ish. Now, for military here, you have a force limit of 20. I recommend using mercs to some degree. Build some more cav. As you can see right now, you have 11-4, and you can currently hold 50%. That's the standard. So you might need to have 20. So that the standard recommendation will be to have 89. No, that's not 89. My bad. It's 12-6. So that means 14-6 basically. So 14 infantry and 6 cav. So build 2 more cavs with the manpower that you have, and build 5 more mercenaries, so that you can save manpower, because you truly have the cash to pay for the mercenaries. As you can see, that'll allow you to attack more territories at a faster rate. Other than this, there's nothing much more to say on military. Discipline at 105% because you have the advisor. Pretty standard stuff here. If you really want to be more efficient on cash usage, you can actually take this off, so you can actually have so that you can actually boost up your military up. What should I call it? When you go to war, the forts are not gonna go up instantly when you don't want to use the forts. So keep that in mind as well. Other than this, we talked about subjects and estates, so that is pretty much it. The Bahmanis are, I say, a medium level nation to play as. They're really, I would say, easy. Vijayanagar is a little bit more easier simply because of their location, but Bahmanis have more opportunities. I'm Chevalier, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next episode when we're gonna talk about the expansion guide of Bahmanis and how you should expand as Bahmanis. See you next time. Ciao.